Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Bloom. My name is Kanini. Today, we're going to talk about healing and we're going to talk about the mind that wants to kill you. I was reading The Brain That Changes Itself. And one of the things that Dr. Shifa says is that the depressed mind wants to kill you. That's why you find people get isolating themselves. Some people, commit suicide or they get sick and die. And you're like, why is this happening to somebody who's already depressed? Can there be something? It's a sickness. It's a sickness, a sick state of mind. And if you think about everything that we go about life, we use our mind to acquire, whether it's wealth, relationships. And if you think about the depressed mind, what it's actually looking at, it's kind of like attracting more misery and isolation and loneliness. All these emotions that stop a human brain from thriving, because we thrive through positive relationships, we thrive through a positive work environment, doing business with other people. We really thrive through relationships. So why does the mind wants to kill you? It's just imagine like a disease, like whether you have cancer or pneumonia, whatever. It's weakening the body. And that's what depression is. It weakens the body. That mind wants to kill you. So now that we know that we have a mind that wants to kill us when we're depressed or when we remember our trauma, what do? Let's look at the pain, for example, of pain of abandonment by somebody special, like when you were young, as a child, or pain of neglect, or you lost a parent, all this pain that comes with having a difficult life just because you don't have somebody taking care of you and minding you. Now, how do you overcome that? Once you realize that this mind wants to kill you, and the more you feel sorry for yourself, the more you enable this mind. Now you shift from, you shift from just acknowledging the pain. You want to acknowledge the pain, but you also want to focus more on growth and healing. You kind of have to acknowledge, I do feel abandoned, or I do feel depressed, I do feel these emotions, but then you're focusing more on growth. There is a reason why you're repeating this cycle of depression. For example, let's say you grew up in a chaotic household and you hit 30, and then your mind starts bringing all this other pain that you experience in your childhood. What you need to know is that the brain needs to repeat an event so that it can make sense of it. So but you don't have to fall into that trap. You can understand like, hey, like I was abandoned because, my parents died, or because, my mom had issues, or my dad had issues with their mental health. You can understand from their point, like why they did whatever they did. I'm not saying that you excuse it, but you can try to understand that, hey, these people had problems of their own, and I happen to be a victim of that whole mess and a victim of that situation. Because, in life, you're not guaranteed good parents just because you're born. People have their own issues. Like, you can imagine, like, we still don't have like parenting classes where people are taught how to be good parents, how that looks like, how that can benefit a child. A lot of people just wing parenthood as if it's something that you can just wake up and become good at. They don't know how to be mindful parents. So we want to shift. Now that we know that this mind wants to kill us, we want to shift. You want to shift into growth. If you have a very bad memory, you can heal very quickly. Because when you forget things, you're like, I will not let that bother me. I will not let my mind go there again. I will grow, I will overcome. I'll be the bigger person. Whatever I need, if I need to put everybody in check and tell them, hey, you need not to connect with me in this way, I will, if you need to put boundaries, that's fine, as long as you put boundaries and bury the issue, so that these people who who abused you or neglected you or didn't care about you, they stopped draining your energy. That's what you need to do. Sometimes I say amnesia is good, you know. I am good at blocking people who take away energy and my time and people who are not useful in my life. If I notice like you're an energy vampire, personally, that will be it. You know, we will not have discussions about why you are that way, and you know, like no, because I need other things to do in life. You know, I will focus on the positive in my life. Like everybody dragging me down can, you know, go away from me and get a life away from me. Like that's how protective I am about my mental health. I know there are some people you don't want to completely cut off. Maybe they're family members or they are, you know, people in your circle. But the reason why once they cross the threshold and they become toxic, if I call you and every time you don't uplift me, you don't say nice things, gracious things about me, about other people, you know, stuff like that, I will like get you out of my life, because I need people who are, you know, have the energy like, hey, I want to be alive, I want to have nice relationships with other people. You gotta realize like you have your goals and where you want to go and the kind of people who want to help you go there. You know, so no longer are we dealing with the people in the past who neglected us, who ignored us. No, we are saying, okay, if you want to ignore me, that's fine. If you're okay with neglecting me, if you're okay with not apologizing, that's fine. But that's not going to be my life anymore. I am going to focus on the people who acknowledge me, the people who like to be in my presence, the people who, you know, find me worthy of their time. And you start moving towards the goals that you want in life and the people who can help you. So it's kind of like you're having a good amnesia about the people who don't really focus on your growth and your life. You're kind of having amnesia about them. It's kind of like you're forgetting them, and you're focusing on your goals and where you want to go. This works, you know, forgetting works. Another way you can forget is to forgive people. You know, be understanding. Like, hey, I understand. Like, given your mental health and given your current situations and everything that you had going on, you did not see me as a human. You did not see me as worthy. I mean, I understand that and I forgive that, you know. Or you can have that kind of forgiveness, that kind of like understanding about other people. I'm not saying you force it, but this comes from your higher self understanding, you know, that people, when they're in survival mode, they will behave in certain ways that don't make sense, and you can understand that and forgive them. And they probably will behave better when their circumstances change. There are people who are like that. Granted, there are people who don't change, but there are people, when you take away their survival mode, they will behave like humans to other people. It's the people who are constantly in survival mode that hate other people, that are always like neglectful, they don't care. But when you find somebody who's self-actualized, they see that there is only one language that can be spoken, and that's the language of love. So that's another way of dealing with people, like empowering yourself to where you don't really need people so much, and also being able to find yourself in a place where you have grace and you can forgive them. So when you don't you know, forget, it's going to be very hard for your mind to overcome your pain. You know, somebody told me that, Monica, the only way you stay at the top is to stay at the top. You know, when you go around moping about your childhood, like this happened, and you really don't get over it, this mind is going to take over your life. It's going to poison your relationship, your work. It's going to take away everything that you have worked hard for. The only way you stay at the top is to be at the top, to always work hard, to always forgive, forget, have quick amnesia when people do bad things to you. You don't want them to to have a hold on you. right? Is to always be focused on your goals, to be always quick to eliminate the people who are wasting your time, your energy, the jealous people, the people who, just seem to not see anything good in you, the people who don't affirm, your goodness, the people who, you have to be always quick at eliminating the negative people and focusing on your goals and moving forward. That's the only way you stay at the top. When you look back, when your life starts going good and you start looking back and you're like, wow, these people were so mean to me. Look at them right now. When you start focusing on that, those people will drag you down. They will drag you down. They will drag you down. So it doesn't matter whether you're dealing with the pain of abandonment, neglect, abuse. The more you keep looking back, like you're waiting for those people to kind of get into their mind and to apologize and to see what they did was wrong. It doesn't work like that. The most those people can do is gaslight you. Do you want to be gaslighted by people who don't even care about you? No. You keep moving forward with your goals, with your life, with everything that you have to do. Don't look back. Don't give them the time of day. Or forgive them and be understanding, and don't want anything from them. Don't want an explanation. Don't want them to be understanding. Don't look for anything from these people. You understand where they are in life. It's where they've always been, and you keep moving on with your life. I hope that makes sense. Well, I hope that you realize that this mind wants to kill you. It has no future for you. You can't stay depressed. You can't stay moping. You can't stay complaining, wishing things were different, hoping that you had more love from these people. No, it didn't happen. It's probably not going to happen. But you can create more beautiful life for yourself with people that love you and care for you. You can decide a whole new, you can create a whole new life. What you don't want to do is to have them drag you, to have these emotions and negative mind keep dragging you down, because it's going to waste your life. It's going to take a lot of energy from you, take time from you. You will be focusing on the negative instead of the beautiful life that's ahead of you. You don't need to do that. The choice is on you. It's not what they did. Right now, the choice is on you. You choose to heal. You choose to move forward with your goals. You choose to stay at the top. No matter what, you keep moving. You keep going. Do not let people drag you down. So, like this, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. When it comes to healing trauma, maybe your therapist won't tell you this, but I want you to get this. Only way you stay at the top is to stay at the top. So you have to keep moving forward. Do not let this pain drag you down. Do not. How far you've come in life, do not let this negativity and the people around who are negative to bring you down. Keep your goals in your mind. Keep your eyes on the goals. Failure only happens when you lose sight of your goals. I don't know what your goals are. Maybe you want to get married, have a family, buy a home, travel the world, write a book, whatever it is that you want to do. You have to keep your eyes there on the goal. Everyone else trying to bring you down, trying to tell you can't do this, do this. Keep those voices down, forget them, keep your eyes on the prize. The only way you stay on the top is to keep moving. Forward. We don't go back in time. We always move forward in time. So, the only way that you have to keep is next goal. What's next? So, well, thanks again for tuning in to Bloom. Subscribe to this channel. We grow here. We grow our mindset. We heal and we grow. So thanks again for tuning in. Again, my name is Kanini. And until next time, may God bless you.